Hi, I'm Callum. I'm a product manager here at Arturia, and I'm really excited to show you the latest version of the Augmented series, which is the Augmented Grand Piano. So before we dive into the Grand Piano, I wanted to give you a sort of an overview of the Augmented series, what it is, some of the other products, and then we'll look a bit closer at the Grand Piano. So the Augmented series is Arturia's take on a sampled instrument, but we do it in our own unique way. So we combine the samples of the traditional instruments and augment them with the synthesis engines that we've sort of developed over the past decade. The whole idea is to sort of breathe new life into these traditional instruments and massively increase their creative possibilities in terms of sound design or workflow and usability. So it's been really fun to develop and create these products. They came out I'm Hi, I'm Callum. I'm a product manager here at Arturia, and I'm really excited to show you the latest version of the Augmented series, which is the Augmented Grand Piano. So before we dive into the Grand Piano, I wanted to give you a sort of an overview of the Augmented series, what it is, some of the other products, and then we'll look a bit closer at the Grand Piano. So the Augmented series is Arturia's take on a sampled instrument, but we do it in our own unique way. So we combine the samples of the traditional instruments and augment them with the synthesis engines that we've sort of developed over the past decade. The whole idea is to sort of breathe new life into these traditional instruments and massively increase their creative possibilities in terms of sound design or workflow and usability. So it's been really fun to develop and create these products. They came out so we had augmented strings and augmented voices. These came out in April with V Collection 9, and now Augmented Grand Piano was released a few weeks ago. And I'm very proud and excited to do this live stream and go over the product and tell you how we made it and so on. So Augmented Grand Piano, why piano next in the series? We just really wanted to push the envelope on the traditional sound of the piano and put some more of a contemporary edge onto this the most classic instrument in the world, I guess you could say. There's a lots of piano VSTs out there, but we felt like there was sort of this edge of mixing it with the synthesis that was adding a new interest into the product. And before we actually go in, and I'll show you the advanced pages and the play page and all the content that we recorded, all the synth engines, I kind of wanted to say who these products are for. So we're really trying to make this new range of cinematic instruments. These instruments are really beautiful for sound textures and soundscapes, perfect for video games or media, TV, or even film. And that's kind of the angle that we've approached this whole series with. So yeah, let's dive in and I'll show you Augmented Grand Piano. I thought I'd play you a few presets first just to give you sort of the flavor of the product, and then we'll dive a little deeper. So this preset's called Ultimate, and it's just sort of like a really nice kind of classical sound, but with some prepared piano in there and some synths, of course. So you can hear all the ping pong balls, really nice sort of texture. Yeah, one of my favourite prepared articulations. I'll go into what we've recorded a bit later on, but there's some really nice flavours of the piano in there. So that was kind of a classical sound. I'm going to go back to the first sound actually that I played in the intro called Intima. And this is even more sort of classical, traditional, but very lovely, beautiful, intimate piano sound. Big like reverb tail and it's nice and epic. Really lovely tones. I think that's what really impressed me, is just that we have all these piano sounds, but we're just giving so many different like colors and flavors to this classical instrument. So this one's a bit more experimental sound, but I thought I'd add it. I'm just going to increase the door tempo just because it's like a sort of sequence rhythmical one. I don't know if you're seeing, but I'm actually moving the macro pages. You can really hear the sounds develop. I'll do a whole run through of what these are doing after I played you a few more presets. So that was really nice, sort of flavor of real pianos and sort of like electronic flavors. This one's kind of like a electric piano sound, really nice. I love this sound. Nice wonky lo-fi. Yeah, really great sounds. And the last one I wanted to show you before we dive in is this one called Explored Terrain. So gave you sort of like intimate pianos, a bit of kind of like the poppy urban stuff, and then this is like a big soundscape using bowed piano, really nice synth textures. So yeah, I hope those sort of presets show you how versatile, interesting this piano product can be. So yeah, I wanted to show you the play page, then I'll take you to the advanced page. I'm just going to play a MIDI clip because I feel I can then start talking a bit more in depth about these macros on the front page that you can see. Just going to turn down the tempo just so it's a bit. So as you can see on the main page, we have these 8 macros. In the middle, we have a big macro called the morph knob. This is where the concept, the whole product came from. So we have, traditionally, we have like acoustic sounds on the left, and then on the right, we have the synthetic sounds. This preset is actually a bit of a hybrid of the two, so I think there's synths and samples on the left and right. But as I go from the layer A to the layer B, just from this one preset, it's 2 completely different worlds, just with the one turn of the knob. So that's the morph knob in its full power. And then at the top we have color, time, and motion. So these are like sound macros. So color is predominantly a filter. So a bit of a darker tone, a bit more mild, and then we can brighten it up when we turn color up. Time controls the envelopes. So let me you can hear that it's not the best preset for time, but time usually makes the sounds a bit more staccato. And then motion can be a variety of different things. Usually it controls vibrato or tremolo. You can kind of hear the stereo tremolo going on, which is really nice. So then on both layers we have effects. So effects A and effects B. So with morph on the left, I'll turn down. So it's kind of like a nice chorusy sound, quite subtle, but adds a different sort of color and flavor. So here again, it's the effects kind of cleaned up the sound a little bit. Turn it on. Adding like a nice delay shimmer. And then at the end of the whole audio path, we have a delay and a reverb. So let's go to a cleaner sound, so it's just a bit easier to hear. That's the delay. So each preset has its own sort of delay settings that you can edit if you want. This one sounds very nice to me. With a nice sort of like reverb tail at the end. So I hope that kind of gave you a nice, I don't know, introduction into the macro pages. The morph knob is just there to have fun with, and every preset you go through, you can hear how the piano augments. And with our other instruments, with the strings, with the voices, you can really hear how these acoustic sounds can morph and turn into something completely different. And there's so many sweet spots in between the morph and the color, motion, the effects. You can find, I don't know, 4 or 5 sounds within the one preset. So it's a lot of fun, and you can really make it your own sound and your own, unique tone, which is fantastic. So I'm going to take you into the advanced pages. Maybe before we go in, I would like to think that most people would, I know how important workflow is to everybody and how quickly everything is needed to be creative. So this is why we made this play page, so you can just flick through presets, do some tweaks, find your sound, move on to the next thing, or maybe that's all you want to do. If you are the type of person that likes to sound design or maybe tweak the preset to make it even more individual, we've given you the option of the advanced pages. So I will flick through the pages, quickly describe what they are, what they do, and then we'll talk about the content that we recorded for this product. And I thought we could maybe make a preset together. If it goes well, it's not my forte, but you know. So this is the layers page. So it's very close to the main page. We have a left and a right. So layer A, predominantly, like I said, is samples, but you know, you can drag and drop, and that's another nice thing that you can just, I don't know, we've got this preset, but if I've moved this over here, maybe it sounds completely different. And here we have all the engines and the samplers. I'll go into that in a minute. And each one has an envelope, and each layer has its own filter and filter envelope. So this is like the real heart of the product, and lots of fun can be had here. Modulation, we have LFOs and functions, which is a bit of a more advanced LFO. Random, and then keyboard modulation. So velocity you can see like changes the cutoff, changes the stereo pan rate on an effects. Aftertouch, can you hear that? If you push down a bit harder, you activate aftertouch, giving this vibrato. Mod wheel classic, and nothing's on keyboard tracking, but if you can see the dial, see the reference, it's like the higher you play, depends, you can like modulate stuff like that. The idea is that you can do all this modulation, set up your own sounds, but we've done a lot of this work for you. Each product comes with 300 presets, really great presets, and I would like you to just play with it, and if you want to like adventure and deep dive, go for it. Each product has its own, each product layer, we have like an arpeggiator, sorry, messed up my words. So this is just like simple. So we can like turn steps off. We can like randomize the velocity, change the gate, so like how like short the notes are. Change how the pattern works, change the swing. So yeah, lots of fun can be had with, it's quite a simple arpeggiator, but I think it has enough features there to like just add some nice flavor, nice rhythms to your sounds. And then the effects pages, we have, sorry, I'll go on to, so we have layer A and layer B, like I said at the beginning. So each layer has 2 effects slots, and you can choose nice choruses, phasers, reverbs, delays, compressor, filters if you want to filter again, nice stereo pan. And at the end of the chain we have a delay and a reverb. So we have like a digital delay, a nice tape delay, a pitch shift delay, and then the reverb, we have a convolution reverb or a digital reverb. So convolution reverb is impulse responses. So you'd go to like a church and you'd clap and you'd record the echo, and then we'd put that echo sort of to, I don't know, so you can like simulate that you're playing in that church with this piano. a brief explanation. Maybe now's not the time. And then we have the macro page. So the idea of this macro page is that if you are a sound designer and you've sort of finally done all your sound design, you can come here and like sort of fine tune all the modulation destinations and make sure everything's working as it should be. So yeah, that's kind of like the overview of the product, and this is the same for strings and voices. Now I think it's a good time to talk to you about the content that we recorded, show you some synth engines, maybe show you a quick preset that I made, and then yeah, I'll play a bit more and we can do some Q&As. So I'm just going to go to the default preset. And I'm going to just turn morph. So this is like a really basic preset. And I just wanted to show you the articulations we recorded. So we wanted to find like a really beautiful piano for this product. And we thought probably the Steinway is the ultimate grand piano. So we went on a tour and we like visited a few studios, and we found this really like beautiful Steinway Model D in a German studio. And with the help of a sound designer called Stefan Lemke, he's an expert in recording grand pianos. He captured this really beautiful and like intimate sound. Yeah, just like maybe like 20 microphones and loads of beautiful preamps, and it just sounds beautiful. So I just thought I'd play you, you know. And it's nice and bright because we wanted a bright sound because we have all these filters and effects and synthesis, so we wanted to like cut through the mix with this bright sound. But if it's a little bright, you know, just turn the filter down a bit. So this is just like a classical piano. Almost. Yeah, really beautiful. And then, as I said a bit earlier, we wanted to capture this pure sound of the piano, but we also wanted to augment the grand piano. So we explored lots of prepared techniques. So bowed is a really interesting one. So we got like a violin bow, took it apart, and just with the sustain pedal down, you know, did this and played each note. So it's really turn the filter back up. Yeah, really nice like eerie tone. We have a really nice felt articulation. And then onto some more sort of unusual prepared techniques as well. Finger pluck. It's like plucking each string. The classic, the ping pong that I was talking about earlier. Really interesting and sort of like dynamic, evolving tone. Nice prepared. Nice like percussive piano. And I think maybe just show you one more sort of interesting one, which is like twine, similar to bowed, but just a different material. You know, just without even putting any of the synth stuff, got some like really nice content. Before we move on to the additional samples, I just wanted to explain what natural release and synthetic release is. So the natural release is a recorded sample. So as I play a note and let go, it like the piano hits down the damper, and you get like a sound from that. So the natural release has that sample embedded in this articulation, and then the synthetic ones, we've removed it. So then the envelope, because it can go up to 20 seconds, which is a bit long, but you know, you can have like a synthetic release of 5 seconds on a piano that's just, you know, it would never happen in real life. So it's just like a nice feature to add. And then we have these nice sort of processed and additional samples. So processed pianos is these real piano sounds, but put through some nice outboard, giving some nice color. So yeah, that's just like a sort of nice overview of the sample content that you get with this product. These additional samples are like samples that are a bit harder to make with the synth engines. So it's just to add to sort of complete the circle of the content that we've added to this product. And then just going to turn the morph to the other side and just quickly show you what we have over here. We have 4 synth engines. So we have like analog, virtual analog, granular, harmonic, and wavetable. So each one's designed to complement the piano in some way. And then we give it to you or the sound designers, and they just sort of, you know, flick through. Sorry, go back to wavetable. And they like find their sound. Harmonic is a harmonic engine, which is like an additive synthesis, which is quite advanced, but gets some really great tones. The granular is really where I think it shines with this product. So we've like recorded these. Slicing up the sample and getting these really like interesting textures. And like half sample, half granular, and yeah, beautiful stuff. And then we just have like classic virtual analog. And the idea is that you would sound designers or you would come in here and like find each layer's tone and then flick through presets and find the right sound for you. So I think that's a pretty good overview of what this product can sound like and the content that's in it, why we made it. I thought we'd just like quickly go through this preset that I made. I've lost all my playlist, but that's okay. Maybe if I do that. No, okay, well, that's all good. I called my preset Livestream. Handy. So I just made this today. So on the left side I have felt piano and this sort of cassette piano. And then on the right side I have sort of an interesting granular rhythm. So I'm just going to quickly show you, like, I don't know how I found it. So, you know, I went in here, looked at some of the piano articulations, really liked this felt piano. You can hear there's sort of a little vibrato on it. So here's vibrato in the modulation page, so without vibrato. It's nice and classic. Just a little bit of vibrato, a bit of wonkiness. And then I had to add this nice soft cassette piano. I mean, even to me, like even that is like a really nice preset to me. Oop. And then on the right side, on layer B, I was just looking at some of the granular engines. I found this kind of like interesting granular, like modulating it. I'm doing some like tremolo on it, and then with LFO2 I'm modulating the depth of the tremolo and the density of the granular engine. That's what kind of gives it that sort of wonky sort of hits of the granular engine. And then that's added with this other granular. You know, it's like pretty simple, just choosing some nice engine presets, adding a little bit of modulation to the filter and to some of this granular stuff. You know, we can add a bit of delay and reverb. Maybe add a bit of chorus. Then what's always fun, as I was playing it a bit earlier, just so you can have your hands free, I've just added like a chord mode. Then we can arpeggiate that. Oh, it's getting a bit weird now. Anyway. So yeah, I hope that gives you like a nice overview of the product, teach you a little bit how to sound design with the product, and you know, just play with this really beautiful sounding instrument. So before I do the Q&A, I was just going to show you like a few more of my favorite presets. I obviously lost my playlist, but I'll find some nice ones here. This one was all our favorites, and that's why it's at the top of the list. Really nice intimate piano, and adding this like nice synthetic euphoric sound. Feels like you're playing with someone. Really nice. It's more of like a percussive sound. That's my brother's chord progression, so really nice. Just show you a few more. Really nice felt tape piano. Let's just show you some, I want to show you a nice bass sound, a big drone sound, and then I'll do some Q&A, and then that'll be the end of the live stream. Nice. And I'll finish off with a nice cinematic drone. I really hope you can hear that sort of just already sounds like it's perfect for a video game, or so lovely. Just lots and lots of lovely colours to the grand piano. Yeah, really nice. Okay, so thanks so much for letting me go through it, and I hope you learned a bit. And during the live stream, lots of people have been asking some questions, so I'm just going to open up questions that have come through. I'll answer them, and then I bid you farewell. So the first question that I got is, are you doing anything to improve the CPU of the range, this product? So yeah, I know it is a little bit juicy on CPU. It's something that I'm really trying to push for our developers to lower it and make it a little bit more efficient. It's a big compromise of sound quality to CPU, and I want to reduce it as much as possible because I want, not the sound quality, of course, like I think the sound is so important, but I know that on a bit of an older computer, these products are a bit juicy. So it's like my priority and our priority to make these products as usable as possible. We have improved it for piano compared to strings and voices, and for the next sort of releases in future, we'll keep on improving it for you. So the second question is, can we import our own samples? Unfortunately not. I wanted to keep this like a closed system, and I wanted each product in the range to be like specific to a certain instrument. Maybe in the future we could like open up this engine and just allow you guys to add your own samples to it. But for now, unfortunately not, and I'm sorry about that. Surely this will be included in the V Collection 9 that I just bought. So this isn't part of V Collection 9. V Collection 9 came out in April, and Strings and Voices were a part of that collection. V Collection 10, this product will most likely be a part of that. But as of now, if it's the bundle that you bought then in April that is in that collection. And then for the future ones, we'll put the software that we've been developing for this year and next year into V Collection 10. So like the augmented stuff and maybe some new vintage emulations. Is this better than hybrid keys by Native Instruments? Well, I mean, that's obviously very subjective. You probably shouldn't be asking me that, because I would probably say it's better, but I don't want to be biased. They're two similar but different products. Like Hybrid Keys has 2 layers, but only 1 sound per layer. Here we have 2 sounds per layer, so 4 in total. So I think our sound is a bit richer, and our sample content is bigger. I can't remember how big that product is, maybe like a gigabyte. Ours is 3, but compressed. Before compression, it's like 8 gigabytes of samples. And we have real-time synthesis, which they don't. Theirs just sample-based. But they're 2 different products. Both have really nice sounds, and I love using Hybrid Keys, and I love using this product. So, is it better? I'll let you guys decide. Okay, next question. I was slightly disappointed to find no half pedaling feature. We did talk about this feature. Half pedaling is press a chord, let go of the pedal, but as you're holding down the chord, you press it again, and it like adds like a sort of different release sound and a different resonant sound across the soundboard. Like, what we're doing isn't trying to create a perfect emulation of a Steinway Model D. If we wanted to do that, we're looking at 50, 60 gigabytes of storage space. This one is, as I just said, 8 and then 3 gigabytes compressed. So we decided that especially for all the synth stuff, that we didn't need this feature. We're not trying to create the perfect emulation. So I'm sorry if you're disappointed. Maybe in the future that we will make a real sampled piano. But we have Piano V, which is physically modeled, but that's kind of our more classical piano sound for the collection for Arturia software, and then this one is the more contemporary cinematic piano sound. When is Augmented Grand Piano going to be available in Analog Lab? So soon we are going to release like an update for Analog Lab and the V collection. So Augmented Grand Piano will be available in Analog Lab if you own Augmented Grand Piano. So if you purchased it, you will be able to like import the presets. But with the next Analog Lab, it's not a big update. So Augmented Grand Piano won't be in there unless you own the product beforehand. So I hope that clears it up. But then in the future, of course, it'll be included in the Analog Lab. Okay, final question that I've got here. Are there any plans of a scaled down lighter version like Augmented Strings Intro? At the moment, there isn't a plan for that. The intro came out and it was free, and it was to sort of like, get people sort of engaged with the Augmented series. And it's nice that it's free, so we could like give you these sounds and get it to lots of people, so we can have, spread the word of the Augmented series. For piano and for voices, I don't think we're going to do a scaled down version. You have access to the play page and the advanced page now, and you have a lot more presets, and that's what we're going to continue doing with in the future, I believe. Okay, so that's all the questions gone through. I'll play you a little outro sound, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining and listening to this live stream. It's been a real pleasure to introduce you to this product. I hope you like it, if you have it, and just keep an eye out for more augmented instruments that are going to come out in the future. So thank you so much.